Senator Scarr.
Madam Acting Deputy President, I rise today to speak of hope. Hope. Earlier today, a journalist asked the Prime Minister a question. The question was this: Prime Minister, on ensuring integrity, do you share the view of your colleagues that Senator Hanson has somehow been cowed by the unions, especially in the shadow of the state election in Queensland next year? The Prime Minister's response included the following in relation to the Ensuring Integrity Bill. It will come back into the House of Representatives this week, after it goes back through the party room this week, and we will take it forward. We will take it forward because we believe in it. We believe that union thugs should not go onto building sites and threaten people, or in any area of the workplace, and be able to do that on and on and on and on, and not face any expulsion from the industry for doing that. We believe in that. They should be held to account. I put laws in place to do that to bankers. It should be in place to do that to union thugs too. And Madam Acting Deputy President, I believe in that too. So there is hope. This government is not just going to lie down and roll over following the disappointment of last week. No, we're not, Senator. The Ensuring Integrity Bill will be returned to this place for further discussion. Why? Because the Australian people deserve better than the vile and contemptuous behaviour of the CFMMEU. In the last 15 years, the CFMMEU has been slapped with $65 million in penalties, fines and legal costs. $65 million. Yet it makes no difference to the CFMMEU. They continue to act in a lawless manner. Don't just believe me. Listen to the words of Justice Flick, one of our most learned jurists. This is how he described the actions of the CFMMEU, affiliated with the Australian Labor Party, in the Barangaroo case. It is concluded that the CFMEU, as it then was, has long demonstrated by its conduct that it pays but little regard to compliance with the law, and indeed has repeatedly sought to place itself above the law. Not my words, Madam Acting Deputy President, Justice Flick's words. The CFMEU is to be regarded as a recidivist offender. It is difficult, if not impossible, to envisage any worse conduct than that pursued by the CFMEU. It is difficult, if not impossible, to envisage any worse conduct than that pursued by the CFMEU. Those are the words of Justice Flick. The CFMMEU, affiliated with the Australian Labor Party. And you don't have to go further than my home state of Queensland to see what a negative impact the CFMMEU is having in industrial relations in this country. There is case after case dealing with their unlawful behaviour. The Queensland Institute of Medical Research construction. In that case, the court said prior penalties had not reduced the CFMEU's, as it then was, willingness to breach the law, and it continues to thumb its nose at the industrial laws. That's the Queensland Institute of Medical Research. The Queensland Children's Hospital, another case. The Queensland University of Technology. The Logan Enhancement Project. CFMMEU and its official fined $39,050 for offensive and unprovoked abuse of subcontractor. More and more. The Bruce Highway Calandra to Sunshine upgrade case. Another one. The Enoggera Army Barracks case. Let me quote from the judgment in that case in relation to the CFMMEU, affiliated with the Australian Labor Party. And this is what the judge said, Justice Rangier. He said the union's contract was deliberate, flagrant and systematic, with no evidence of any attempts by the CFMEU to take corrective steps to ensure that its officials and agents comply with the law. That's the CFMMEU, affiliated with the Australian Labor Party, donor to the Australian Labor Party, with its representatives sitting on the Australian Labor Party's national executive. How about this one? The QUT Kelvin Grove campus construction project, This is what Justice Rangier said in that case. He said the union's conduct was deliberate, flagrant and systematic, with no evidence of any attempt by the CFMEU to take corrective steps to ensure that its officials and agents comply with the law. Poor Justice Rangier, I don't know where he's sitting when the listing clerk is handing out the cases, but the poor chap seems to always get the CFMMEU vile and obnoxious behaviour cases. And don't forget, if I didn't mention it, Madam Acting Deputy President, the CFMMEU is of course affiliated to the Australian Labor Party. And this is what Justice Rangier said in this case, and this is a classy case involving the CFMMEU affiliated with the Australian Labor Party. This involves the construction of Ronald McDonald House. Ronald McDonald House. They can't help themselves, these people. They can't help themselves. And this is what Justice Rangier said in relation to this case dealing with the construction of Ronald McDonald House. Justice Rangier said the courts have repeatedly emphasised the need for specific deterrence of the union's conduct, saying the CFMEU has a very extensive history of contraventions of industrial laws. But you wouldn't have known that, Madam Acting Deputy President, if you listened to the speeches from the Australian Labor Party representatives in this chamber last week. In 37,000 words, they only mentioned the CFMMEU affiliated with the Australian Labor Party once in 37,000 words. And that was in relation to occupational health and safety. Well, come to Queensland. Come to Queensland, senators, and meet some of the occupational health and safety inspectors whose own occupational health and safety is actually endangered by the CFMMEU, affiliated with the Australian Labor Party. In relation to the construction of the Cairns Performing Arts Centre, the ABCC has had to bring a case against the CFMMEU official for acting in an improper manner and hindering and obstructing a Queensland workplace health and safety officer. So this officer just doing his job, trying to protect workers. He has an official come up to him, approach the officer, put his face a matter of centimetres away from the WHS officer and repeatedly shouted, "You're an expletive dog." Those are the actions of the CFMMEU, affiliated with the Australian Labor Party. There are representatives of the CFMMEU on executive, state and federal of the Australian Labor Party. The Australian Labor Party is institutionally incapable of dealing with the issue of the CFMMEU. They can't deal with it. Following that case at Cairns Performing Arts Centre, we then heard that the Together Union, representing occupational health and safety workers, has actually had a list of sites where it's had to put in protected industrial action because it's too dangerous for the members of their union to go onto those sites because of the actions of the CFMMEU affiliated with the Australian Labor Party. 17 sites. You can go onto their website, Madam Acting Deputy President, and look at the sites. They're still there. I checked today. And what did the CFMMEU, affiliated with the Australian Labor Party, do when this came to light? Well, they actually challenged the Secretary of the Together Union, Mr Alex Scott. They challenged him. And what did Mr Alex Scott say when he was challenged? He said, and let me quote, Mr Scott said his union would not be backing down from the site bans and argued it was abhorrent. Abhorrent. This is a trade union leader talking about the CFMMEU affiliated with the Australian Labor Party. He said it's abhorrent that the CFMEU would seek to interfere in another union's claim to industrial action. Well, the Australian Labor Party senators here today don't have to take my word for it, because they can ask Mr Rabbar, who runs the CFMMEU in Queensland, they can ask him at their next National Executive Committee meeting, because he sits on the Australian Labor Party National Executive. Whilst I'm in this place, Madam Acting Deputy President, I will shine a bright light on the lawlessness, vile and contemptuous behaviour of the CFMMEU affiliated with the Australian Labor Party.